Listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you might completely reshape the way you think about aging. A top orthopedic surgeon recently said something shocking. It's not your age that limits you after 60. It's the muscles you stop using. And today, you're about to hear the exact exercises he gives his own patients. Simple movements that can mean the difference between independence and decline, between confident mobility and a life restricted by fear of falling. Now, imagine this. You wake up one morning in your 60 seconds or 70 seconds and realize getting out of a chair suddenly feels heavier. Stairs feel steeper. Balance feels a little less certain. Most people assume this is just getting old. But this surgeon insists that these are all signs of something else. A gradual shutdown of key muscle groups that protect your joints, stabilize your spine, pump blood efficiently, and even influence how your brain ages. And the best part? Reactivating them doesn't require a gym, fancy machines, or painful strain. It only requires consistent, targeted movement. Before we get into the exercises themselves, we need to understand something crucial. After age 60, the biggest threat to health isn't heart disease, diabetes, or even cancer, although those are serious. It's actually loss of mobility. When mobility drops, everything else declines with it. Digestion slows, inflammation rises, vital organs receive less circulation, even memory and mood begin to fade. That's why this surgeon says movement is medicine, and after 60 it becomes the most powerful medicine. But maybe the most surprising thing he revealed is that the body still has an incredible ability to rebuild strength later in life. He told the story of a 72-year-old woman who struggled to stand without holding on to something. Her doctor told her it was just age. Instead, she began a simple routine, 3 foundational movements that targeted her hips, spine, and balance. Within 6 weeks, she wasn't just standing easily. She was walking faster, breathing better, and even sleeping deeper. Her blood pressure improved. Her knee pain disappeared. She felt like she had turned back her biological clock. So what were those essential exercises? The first one may surprise you, because it's not intense, and it's not flashy. It's something most people overlook, but it's one of the strongest indicators of longevity, the sit-to-stand. This surgeon calls it the real-life squat. It mimics the movement pattern you use every day. Getting out of bed, stepping out of a car, standing from a chair. When your quadriceps and glutes weaken, this simple motion becomes harder, and that difficulty silently predicts future falls, fractures, and even hospitalization. He recommends performing it slowly. Sit on a chair, cross your arms over your chest, lean slightly forward, and stand up using the power of your legs, not your hands. Then slowly lower back down. It strengthens the largest muscles in your body, boosts blood flow, and trains your nervous system to stay sharp. It also helps protect the knees by teaching them to track properly. If someone can perform 10 of these with control, he says they're adding years of function to their life. The second essential movement focuses on something people over 60 rarely think about: ankle strength. Weak ankles are one of the biggest hidden causes of falls. When the muscles around the ankle weaken, your body struggles to make tiny corrections that keep you balanced. The exercise he teaches is simple: heel raises, stand behind a chair for support, rise onto your toes, hold for a moment, and lower slowly. This pumps blood back toward the heart, strengthens the calves, improves circulation to the brain, and keeps the ankle joint mobile and responsive. He calls it your 24-hour fall prevention insurance. But the third exercise is perhaps the most important and most misunderstood. It's a movement that trains your core, spine, and stabilizing muscles without crunches or strain. Many people over 60 struggle with back pain because the small muscles around the spine shut down with prolonged sitting. This surgeon's favorite fix: the hip hinge. Stand tall, push your hips back as if you're about to bow, keep your spine neutral, and return to standing. This teaches the body proper movement mechanics, protects the lower back, strengthens the glutes, and improves posture. These 3 movements form the foundation, but the deeper story is why they work so well. Every time you perform a controlled movement after 60, you're sending signals to your muscles, bones, and brain that say, stay alive, stay active, stay strong. The surgeon explains that muscle mass acts like a metabolic engine. The more you keep it active, the more your body maintains healthy hormone balance, joint lubrication, circulation, and even cognitive clarity. And here's something extraordinary. Studies show that even people in their 80s and 90s can gain strength and muscle with simple, consistent exercises. That means it's never too late. Your body is far more adaptable than you think. He tells his patients, at 60, you are not fragile, you're undertrained. That mindset shift alone can transform your confidence and motivation. But there's another layer to this story that many doctors don't talk about: the connection between strength and independence. People don't lose independence because of age. They lose it because they struggle with basic movements. When you can stand easily, balance confidently, walk with power, and bend without strain, you maintain your freedom. The surgeon often says that aging doesn't start in your birthday candles. It starts in your spine. The spine is the command center for movement, stability, and even the way your organs function. After 60, many people begin to feel stiffness, especially in the lower back and neck, not because the spine is worn out, but because the supporting muscles have slowly gone offline. And this next group of movements is designed to switch them back on, gently but powerfully. The first movement he emphasizes is something almost everyone ignores: thoracic mobility. The upper back tends to round forward over the years, especially for people who sit a lot, read a lot, or use phones and computers. This hunching can compress the lungs, reduce oxygen intake, strain the neck, and even make you appear older and less energetic. The surgeon teaches a simple movement he calls the chest opener. Stand tall, clasp your hands behind you, gently lift your chest, and draw your shoulders back. Take a slow, deep breath. This expands the rib cage, retrains posture, and helps restore breathing efficiency. He says that if people over 60 did this one stretch 2 minutes a day, many cases of chronic neck tension would disappear. The second movement focuses on stabilizing the spine from the inside out, core activation without crunches. Crunches actually put unnecessary pressure on the lower back for older adults. Instead, he prescribes what he calls the standing brace. Place your hands on your lower abdomen, take a breath in, and lightly tighten your core, as if preparing for a gentle tap to the stomach. Hold for a few seconds while breathing normally. This teaches the deep core muscles to engage, which helps keep the spine upright and reduces the chances of sudden back strains. Over time, this simple activation improves balance and posture during everyday activities. But the third movement is where things get interesting. It's called the marching walk, and it does far more than it seems. This exercise retrains your brain and legs to communicate quickly. Simply walk in place or around a room, lifting your knees higher than usual and swinging your arms naturally. This improves hip mobility, strengthens the hip flexors, enhances coordination, and boosts circulation to the brain. Studies show that exercises involving cross-body movement, like left leg, right arm patterns, help preserve cognitive function. That's why this surgeon insists that movement is not just physical therapy, it's brain therapy. He once shared a story about a retired firefighter in his late 60s who struggled with balance and felt unsteady whenever he turned quickly. Within weeks of practicing the marching walk every morning, his reflexes became sharper, his stride became smoother, and he said for the first time in years, he trusted his legs again. That level of confidence can change a person's entire life. Now, all of these exercises together do something even more powerful. They protect your joints. After 60, joint health becomes a major concern, especially the knees, hips, and shoulders. Many people assume cartilage simply wears away with age, but motion is what nourishes it. The surgeon often explains it this way: cartilage doesn't have its own blood supply. It relies on movement, literal compression and release, to draw in nutrients. When you stop moving, the cartilage starves. To be in, you move regularly and gently. It thrives. To protect the knees, he suggests a movement that surprises many people: backward walking. You don't need much space, just a hallway or room. Walking backward activates muscles that often become neglected, especially around the hips and the back of the legs. This reduces knee pressure, improves balance, and even strengthens the muscles that support the lower spine. In fact, Some physical therapists use backward walking as a secret weapon for knee rehab. To safeguard the hips, he recommends side leg lifts. Stand beside a counter for support. Lift one leg out to the side, lower slowly, and repeat. This strengthens the hip abductors, the very muscles responsible for keeping you stable when you walk. Weak hips are one of the biggest predictors of falls, and this simple movement helps prevent that risk. But there's another area people over 60 don't think about enough: the shoulders. Shoulder stiffness can creep up and limit your ability to reach overhead, get dressed comfortably, or lift even light objects. For this, he uses the wall slide. Stand with your back against a wall, elbows bent, and slowly slide your arms up and down the wall. This strengthens the muscles around the shoulder blade and restores mobility without strain. All these movements together form what the surgeon calls the protective shield, a set of habits that keep your joints nourished, your muscles active, and your nerves firing strong well into your 60 seconds, 70 seconds and beyond. While most people over 60 focus on strength or stretching, this surgeon says there's a third category of movement that's just as essential, maybe even more so. It's what he calls energy system training. This is not about running marathons or pushing yourself until you're breathless. It's about improving how efficiently your heart and lungs deliver oxygen to your body. Once you cross 60, this single factor becomes one of the strongest predictors of how long, and how well, you'll live. He often begins by explaining something simple but overlooked. Your heart is a muscle. Just like your legs weaken without use, your heart weakens when it's never challenged. But the key after 60 is gentle challenge, not strain. Even small bursts of slightly elevated heart rate can dramatically improve cardiovascular health, lower blood pressure, sharpen the mind and boost mood. The surgeon's favorite exercise for this is something incredibly simple: paced walking. It's not about speed, it's about rhythm. He tells his patients to walk at their normal pace for 2 minutes, then slightly increase the pace for 1 minute. Not jogging, just a bit brisker. Then repeat. This creates a light interval pattern that trains the heart safely. He explains that this small shift teaches the body to use oxygen more efficiently, strengthens the blood vessels, and increases lung capacity. He shared the story of a 67-year-old man who struggled climbing stairs and felt winded after even short walks. After 3 weeks of paced walking, he noticed something surprising. He could talk while walking without getting breathless. His sleep improved. His cholesterol improved. His confidence grew. It's often these small internal wins that create the biggest external results. The second exercise for heart and lung health is what the surgeon calls power breathing. This isn't meditation, it's targeted lung conditioning. Sit tall, breathe in deeply through your nose while expanding your lower rib cage. Hold the breath for 2 seconds and release slowly through pursed lips. Do this for 5 to 8 breaths. This simple practice strengthens the diaphragm, helps the lungs expand fully, and improves oxygen exchange. For older adults, deep diaphragmatic breathing can even help with digestion, anxiety, and overall energy levels. But the next movement is the one that really surprises people. It's called the balance walk, and it trains both the heart and the nervous system at the same time. Walk in a straight line by placing one foot directly in front of the other, heel touching toe. Move slowly, keep your core lightly braced, and swing your arms naturally. This challenges the inner ear, the core, and the tiny stabilizing muscles in the legs. It's not intense, but it dramatically improves balance. And here's the fascinating part. Balance training has been shown to improve cognitive performance because it forces the brain to process quick adjustments. The surgeon likes to tell the story of a 74-year-old woman who hadn't realized just how unstable she'd become until she tried the balance walk. Her first attempt was shaky, but with daily practice, her stability improved so much that she stopped worrying about falling at the grocery store or stepping off a curb. That sense of safety changes everything. When people feel secure in their movement, they naturally become more active, and that ripple effect leads to stronger hearts, better joints, and a healthier brain. Speaking of the brain, this surgeon emphasizes that circulation is one of the most important factors in preventing cognitive decline. Every time your heart pumps stronger, more oxygen reaches the brain. That means the simple act of walking briskly or practicing controlled breathing is feeding your brain the fuel it needs to stay sharp. Another underrated movement for energy and circulation is stepping side to side. On the surface it seems too easy, but sidestepping activates muscles that don't get enough attention, especially the glutes and hips, which are essential for stability. When these muscles fire, the heart rate gently rises and the body becomes more responsive. This helps prevent shuffling, which is a common gait issue in older adults and a major fall risk. The surgeon also emphasizes something many people forget. Circulation is not just about the heart pumping, it's also about the muscles helping push blood back toward the heart. The calves, thighs, and glutes act like a second heart. Every step you take squeezes the veins in your legs and helps move blood upward. That's why regular movement, even light movement, helps reduce swelling, prevent blood clots, and improve overall energy. At this point in his program, he tells his patients something powerful. You don't need intense workouts to stay young, you need intelligent movement. When your exercises are targeted and purposeful, they rebuild the systems that aging tends to weaken: mobility, stability, strength, balance, and cardiovascular endurance. This final phase is where everything comes together: strength, balance, mobility, and heart health blending into one simple routine that supports long-term independence. The surgeon often says that the goal after 60 isn't to train like an athlete. It's to move like someone who plans to stay fully alive. And that requires one last category of essential exercises: integrated movements. These are exercises that mimic real-life motions, the ones you use every day without even thinking. Reaching, bending, twisting, stepping, stabilizing. When these natural patterns start to weaken, people begin to avoid certain movements out of fear. They stop bending because their back feels stiff. They stop turning because their balance feels shaky. They stop lifting because their shoulders feel weak. And little by little, that fear shrinks their world. Integrated exercises reverse that process. The first integrated movement the surgeon teaches is the step and reach. Stand tall, take a slow step forward, and reach your hands ahead as if placing something on a shelf. Then step back. This simple action trains coordination, strengthens the legs, challenges the core, and improves stability as you shift weight between your feet. It's the kind of movement that makes daily activities easier. Getting out of a car, stepping onto a curb, reaching into a cabinet. Then comes the rotational reach. You don't need weights or equipment, just stand with feet shoulder-width apart. Lightly brace your core, and slowly rotate your upper body to one side while reaching your arm across, as if turning to greet someone behind you. Then rotate the other way. This engages the obliques, mobilizes the spine, and keeps the midsection supple. Many people over 60 feel stiff simply because they don't rotate anymore. But life requires rotation. Turning, twisting, looking behind, reaching to the side. When your spine moves well, your whole body moves well. The third integrated movement is the hip stabilizer step. From a standing position, step to the side and gently shift your weight onto the stepping foot, then return to center. It sounds simple, but it strengthens the muscles that prevent falls during unexpected sideways movements. That's important because most falls don't happen forward. They happen when someone loses balance laterally. By strengthening the hips, knees, and ankles in this direction, you train the body to react instantly and confidently. One of the most powerful things this surgeon teaches, though, isn't a physical movement at all. It's a mental one. He asks his patients to perform what he calls a confidence scan. Before starting the routine, he asks them to notice how their body feels. After finishing, he asks again. Almost always, they stand taller, breathe deeper, and feel more stable. This is not accidental. Movement literally switches on parts of the nervous system that create a sense of readiness and calm. And after 60, feeling capable is just as important as being capable. He shares a story about an 81-year-old man who began the integrated movement routine after struggling to carry groceries and climb stairs. At first, he moved cautiously, unsure of his strength. But week after week, the small improvements added up. One day he told the surgeon, "I feel like my body woke back up." That's exactly what integrated movement is designed to do: wake up dormant muscles, reawaken neural pathways, and restore natural confidence in everyday activities. And the benefits spill into every area of life. People who practice these movements often find themselves walking more, sitting less, sleeping better, and feeling more energized during the day. Because when the body moves well, the brain performs well. Balance improves, reaction time improves, metabolism improves, even emotional resilience improves. The surgeon explains that aging gracefully isn't about avoiding activity, it's about choosing the right activity. You don't need heavy weights, you don't need long workouts, you don't need perfect form, you just need consistency, intention, and movements that respect how the body changes after 60. Putting it all together, strength exercises, spinal mobility, cardiovascular boosters, and integrated movements, you create a routine that doesn't just add years to your life, it adds life to your years. A routine that protects your independence, preserves your confidence, and keeps your body functioning like a system that is still fully capable, fully alive, and fully adaptable. Before you go, remember this: aging is not a slow decline. It's a choice. Every small movement you make, every step you take, every moment you choose activity over stillness, you're telling your body to stay strong, stay sharp, and stay alive. These exercises weren't designed to make you feel young again. They were designed to remind you that you never truly lost your strength. It's been waiting, quietly, for you to reactivate it. So if you're over 60, or you love someone who is, don't wait. Start with just a few minutes a day. Your future self will thank you for every bit of effort you invest today. And if you found this guide helpful, make sure to subscribe, because we have more life-changing insights coming that can help you stay healthy, independent, and energized at any age. Now I want to hear from you. What's one movement you feel your body needs more of right now, and what's stopping you from starting today?